Hey, incredible, awesome, enlightened ones. It's me, Dax, again, coming to you from paradise in Phuket, Thailand. Today, my mad rambling to you is this simple idea that your business isn't stuck, right? And that means that, you know, regardless of how much you're making, who you're attracting, who's responding to your offers, who's not responding to your offers, how much they're willing or not willing to pay, or any of that kind of stuff. None of that is an indication that your business is stuck. But here's the twist. You are, right? Your business isn't stuck, you are. Every single problem that you are facing within your business is not a business problem, it's not a marketing problem, it's a you problem. And I don't mean that in a kind of finger pointy kind of blame way, or kind of to shame you or guilt you or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying at all. But it's a you problem, right? If you feel stuck, very often it's because you aren't taking time out of your day to give real focus to gaining clarity about who you are, what your message is, what your philosophies, your principles, your practices, your programs, your promises are, right? Who your dream client is, right? If you are not getting the kind of attention that you really need towards your business, it's because you are not taking the time to sit down and think about what they really need to hear to begin the transformation that they're going to eventually pay you for. Okay, if you're finding it hard to bond with people, right, and create that connection with them in your material, it's because you are not taking the time or making the effort to really dig deep into what it is that creates connection and builds trust. Okay, these shoot and scoot type of posts, this kind of material where you dump something and immediately have a DM me to find out more, or kind of click this link and go here and all that kind of stuff, that doesn't create bonding. See, every single thing that's going to bring you success in your coaching business, every single thing is relating to the idea of increasing intimacy, right? Increasing intimacy. You start strangers, and one step at a time, a person gets closer and closer and closer and closer and closer to you, right? Increasing intimacy, and that's what we're really trying to do. So the real question for you is not so much, am I stuck? Because you're not. Or is my business stuck? Because the business isn't, right? So, you know, I started this by saying your business isn't stuck, you are. But in truth, you're not really stuck either. You're just standing still. And there's a big difference, right? You're not taking the action, you're not making the motions that would move you to the next level of intimacy. Here's the thing, clients aren't going to just reach out to you spontaneously, right? They don't know you exist. Most of the world doesn't have a clue that you exist. Most of the world doesn't have a clue that I exist, right? They've got no idea. I'm not a huge worldwide name that every single person would know, oh, this Dax Moy guy, I've got to really work with him. That's not the truth, right? That's not a factor in the business success I've achieved. For very, very, very small pockets of people, I've become slightly famous. Okay, so how have I become slightly famous? I've shown up regularly, right? But it's not just about the regularity, it's about the specific intention of increasing intimacy. So if you want to get away from this idea that you're stuck and that you'll always be stuck, and that, you know, it's a big business problem that you have and all the rest of it, like, strike a line through that and start reconnecting to a better question. And the question is, how can I create intimacy? How can I increase intimacy with the people I most want to work with? How do I take a complete stranger and help them to see that I am the only logical choice? And it's not marketing hacks, and it's not offers, and it's not DM me's and all that. I'm not saying there isn't eventually a place for that, but that's not the kind of thing that's going to increase intimacy, right? The kind of thing that's going to increase intimacy is having the people that you most care about serving, most care about being served by you, right? In other words, they're not the prize, you are. You want to get unstuck, start to make yourself a prize. Increase intimacy, show them that you care, and then make them really care about being served by you. Hope it's been helpful. Speak to you again soon. Much love.